I think we're going to get some discussion.
Yes, well, we're here going like this. We have a tablet here, a tablet there. I mean, we are, again, speaking of generational, what happens in our generation. Yes, we are all about the technology, and we're always looking for what is next. How can they improve our Apple phones, right, or our tablets, or whatever it is we use. So there's going to be a new iOS system coming out. iOS 11. Dina, break it down for us.
Okay, so in the new update, there are a handful of features that are going to be added, things that are going to be updated and kind of fixed, glitches,
but there's
whatever.
one, right?
So the one that,
specifically.
the one thing that we were talking about on Morning Blend today from 5 to 7 was the ability to now screenshot videos. So not only can you take a screenshot of a photo when somebody sends you one or you see something online that you like, but now you can actually video record via a screenshot type app or little like thing on the phone. And so when you're FaceTiming with someone, you can record them. The problem is there's not a real notification that comes up to tell people that they're being recorded. So I know you all can already imagine where some of the issues
against
could
the
be.
law, right?
In California specifically, because that's where we're from. I know a lot of you aren't watching from here, but it is a two-party state. So if somebody is going to be recording another person in a conversation, they have to tell that person, they have to be forthcoming with the information before they hit record.
Right.
And
if there's an expectation of privacy, like a phone call.
Right.
If you are recording somebody on the street,
on a public place, then it's not the same.
We know that, and we know we have that hammered in because we're media. So
but how about a direct message that someone sends, like on Snapchat? Is that intended to be private, or because it's a social platform, even though it's sliding in the DMs, is that considered private?
That's a good question. And I can already see there will be some lawyers, I'm sure, who are going to be getting into the expertise of all of this. But the whole thing here is that you'll be able to now record your conversation on FaceTime and other video platforms with the new update.
So let's think about it this way, because if you could wave your magic wand, would you want this to be a possibility or to never be a possibility? What do you think? Down the line?
Down the line, I would say no. No, I think some things are reserved for privacy. If you want to record, I mean, the other people have been doing that for a long time. Take another phone. I have a work phone, I have my phone. Take my work phone. If I really want something recorded or snapshot of it, I do. So it's not like people aren't doing this already. It's just not on the device.
I think it's fascinating that we have the ability to do all these different things now. Do I necessarily think that we need them? I would say no. But at least with Snapchat, sort of with the screenshotting, and you get the notification, that other person knows. I think that we should have that at least with video.
I agree with you, but at that point, what's the point? So you know they screenshot you, so they're creepy, or it's too late. They already have the picture. And I'm not saying anything provocative or whatnot. Even if there's a picture of a selfie of you with the filter that you look terrible in. I've done it before. You know, my friend James will send me things all the time, and I snap it of him, and he's like, "Girl, really? Why'd you snap that?" I'm like, "I just want it in my Rolodex."
Your Rolodex.
Like, whatever, but you don't know what people are going to do with that photo.
Exactly. And I think when, you know, the group that was really behind this, if you're asking, well, why would you want to do this, was the tech industry. So they say, okay, this could be a way that we could, you know, monitor the way people are on our platforms and how they're using things. And it's almost like you could watch them go through different videos and even tutorials. If you have a family member who needs to learn how to do something, you can record it. And then, but in my opinion, I do think this is not necessary. I just because of the fact that it's so easy as it is right now, at least in my understanding, it's so easy to, if you really wanted to have a conversation with somebody that was recorded and they don't understand that you're recording them, they may say something that they don't want recorded, and that could, I mean, the legal implications on this could be awful. And even Jenny says it opens a ton of legal issues for sure. I live in California. It should have some sort of warning that comes up on the screen, and so I don't know if that's going to be included. It doesn't sound like it is yet.
I'm sure they're going to need to do that at some point, just like Snapchat had to, you know, add that feature. iOS isn't out yet. iOS 11 is not out yet. It comes out this fall. So maybe they're just generating the chit chat right now, see how people feel, and with the click of a button, I'm sure they can implement whatever they want.
So I don't want to freak you out.
Okay.
But you're going
this
to.
This ability to screen capture, not only stills but video, has been available on computers for a long time.
Screen sharing.
Without any notification or whatnot.
Even video?
Even video, absolutely. So whatever's going on that screen, it will record that, and it will turn it into a movie file. So in some ways, this ship has already sailed for the personal computer. But where we start to react to it is we think of our phone as such a personal device. This is my phone. This is my phone number. This person's calling me. We're having this conversation. But in the computing world, they see it as just another device.
Yeah.
And so any features or things that are out there, they're going to say, let's do it for this platform. This is a feature, not a downside. So, you know, you have this mismatch of what people want, expect, versus what is going to be provided.
And something I'd mentioned in the morning, one is that we as a generation, we always want to see what is cutting edge, right? What is next? How is Apple going to stay ahead of the game? Well, what else can they do? I mean, they're doing what everyone wants, which is to have new and improved and easy accessibility. Some of the other things coming out with iOS 11, Apple Pay, you can now Apple Pay with your friends. I've never used Apple Pay.
So that's
Venmo.
And I was saying this is probably going to be the death of Venmo, because
send money now to your friends and family.
So many people do have the iPhone, and to not have to open another app that I don't know, okay, are they going to have my credit card information in a safe place? Is it going to get hacked? If you can use your phone's Apple Pay already built into the security features of your phone, which could also be subject to being hacked, but you don't have to open a separate app for it, I could see that being Venmo's demise.
But I have a Samsung phone.
Okay.
Okay, so how does it work with Apple Pay? If you want to trade or give money, like, how would you do that if I didn't have Apple Pay?
You probably, and that's probably their whole plan, right?
Well,
you have friends.
Everybody's doing it, and you want to be on board.
So you need to have an Apple too. My brother jumped ship years ago.
Is there an equivalent to the Apple Wallet on a Samsung where you can use the phone to go up to a machine?
Think so.
Even
that I'm
then,
aware
it
of.
would need to be Apple to Apple. I think that's
No, I know, but I'm
part of
wondering if Samsung could do a Samsung to Samsung thing. You know, I don't know.
I'm not aware of anything that they have that's
it's not as popular
I
as
think
like
they
Apple
probably
Pay.
don't have. Again, I provide all the technical answers.
But it's good stuff.
But probably there's probably not a cross-platform, because Apple has figured out we are comfortable with security in our own closed ecosystem versus then you start inviting in what they would consider third party, and then they can't vouch for something bad happens on the Samsung end or Android or what have you. Then all of a sudden they're pulled into it. They don't want to deal with it.
And they want to monopolize
feel like
the
their
business
security's
in the
at
market.
the point where they're comfortable doing those.
I'm just mad because I don't get the Apple emojis on my Samsung phone.
See, another reason why they want Samsungers to
Now
go
it's
to
getting real.
Apple.
Now it's getting real.
Another iOS update that's coming with the 11 version.
Oh, this one.
Siri Translator. So she is going to be able to speak in Chinese, French, German, Italian, and Spanish. So say you go overseas, you're backpacking through China, don't know how to communicate, gone are the days where you're going to need to open up a book and how do you say that phrase? No, Siri, I want to go to the bathroom. Say I want to go to the bathroom in Chinese, and then she'll be able to say, speak the language. Right. So what do you think about this one? Is it too accessible? Again, this is all about easy access. How about for the younger generation who has this and says, oh, forget it. I don't need to take that Chinese course anymore.
That was my argument when I heard the story. Think about all of us. Did you all take a foreign language growing up? Okay.
12 semesters.
Yes. And I almost minored in Spanish. And it was one of those things that you, not only is it important to learn another language just because we are a diverse world, but the skills that you are also picking up by learning another language. I mean, the whole educational process of that. Imagine now the next generation coming up with this technology so readily accessible going, why do I need to take a Spanish class? Why do I need to learn another language?
And they may memorize, but it's learning how to, you know, with all the conjugations and everything you need to do when you're going from English to a different language that are important. It helps stimulate the mind. So you're right. Kids are going to be so dependent on this. When it dies or it falls and cracks and shatters, how am I going to send money to anyone? Like, again, gone are the days where you take cash out and give it to a friend when you owe them money. Gone are the days when you have to learn the language and speak it. You're so reliant and dependent on this piece of device.
But think about like how many language barriers you will overcome with a
This is
technology
true.
like this. You know, I come from an immigrant family, and you know, some of my relatives may not speak English as well as some of my other ones do, and sometimes it's just a way of breaking that barrier, making communication easier, especially because, like you were saying, we are a very diverse country. We have so many languages. Maybe it will help us understand each other better.
And
That's one way of looking at it,
and here's kind of a goofy thing. There already is a universal language. It's emojis. It really is. No,
it's hieroglyphics coming back. Hieroglyphics.
Yeah, if you went to deep Russia or you went to the Philippines or what have you, and you were there and there was a language barrier, you could go through your emojis and pick out some sort of expression that would be at least really, really close to what you were trying to communicate via pictures. So that's a great point, but about hieroglyphics. But this sort of thing exists already, but I think people want to have it natural and flow and not the whole thing and have this seamless communication. But you're right, there's something to be said about communicating with somebody in their natural language where you immediately connect with them much faster.
And it's a culture.
And the desire is to always do that, but if you could do it naturally and you put in the work, it's nice to kind of have that.
Yeah. You know, I thought about that for a second when you mentioned the emojis. If you go, again, to a foreign country and you need to know where the bathroom's at, the two emojis I could pick right now would be the girl going like this and then the toilet. Where's the bathroom?
You could do it.
Yeah.
And you could do it. That's interesting.
We do have a lot of great comments on this one, too. So Larry Jones says this is like math to the calculator with the translator.
This is true.
Similar.
Calculator has saved lives.
And and then Emily Longoria, thank you for joining us today.
That's my cousin.
Oh,
is this cousin Emily?
Do you want to read her comment?
Yeah, she says. Go ahead, Dina. Go ahead. No, you go.
Okay. Emily, I get you.
There might be some family.
I know.
I know.
Wait a minute.
Give us the tea, as Cornelia would say. So Emily says, I totally agree. As a Latina, I am proud to know Spanish, and my kids go to a Spanish immersion school. She also says, I think it is still important to know more than one language, which I agree.
And she is one of the few in our family. Again, I always talk about how I'm third generation, fourth generation. She's actually my cousin-in-law. So she's married to my first cousin, my godfather's son. And in our family, we communicate primarily in English. My grandma knows it. But Grandma Lola, she'll speak it, but it's a funny thing. And I tried desperately learning it fluently in through school. But Emily is really good at communicating that to her kids, and now those 3 second cousins of mine are going to be fluent, while the rest of us are over here going, Siri, how do you say it?
Right.
So thanks, Emily, for chatting.
And we know that the option to actually look up a phrase on Google and have it pop up and then show the script on the phone has always been around, at least as long as it can. It's
just the
few
time.
years.
It takes forever.
But now with the actual speaking, and my fear though is what if you say the wrong word? Like, how often is this going to get messed up? When you're asking for the bathroom and they send you to the baseball game or whatever. I mean, I don't know.
I could mess it up on my own without any technology. So what's the point of that?
Yeah, and looking it up. I've never trusted like the translator. Or when I look up on Google, I still go, is that right? Because there were so many options.
Totally.
But if there's one Siri, you think that she knows it all. But does she? Does Siri know it all?
And we're going to lose some of the romanticism of a foreign language. When people graduate high school and they go do that big European vacation, they can't have their botched French have this great moment where they say, I don't know what he said, but I love his accent. We may lose that by an emoji.
Well, and as you bring that up, I have a lot of friends, I never got to study abroad in college. And a lot of people did that because they were in a language that they wanted to take their studies abroad, go to a school where they could be immersed in the language and continue growing their education that way. So then you have to think down the road, what could this mean? Is that really amazing thing still going to be there?
And will you still need it in high school? Because I know, like Senora Hartz, my Spanish teacher in high school. How about job security? I mean, I don't know. I mean,
and professors at colleges.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay, totally agree. Okay, she went in and said that. The one more feature that's coming out with iOS 11, the Do Not Disturb driving feature, like we talked about earlier this week.
I've heard no backlash from that.
No, I think this is good. And driving, your phone automatically will go to black, right? And you're not allowed.
So you do have to tell your phone that you're driving. So if I know a lot of people ask questions, well, how does it know if you're a passenger or if you're on a bike and not the person driving? So you do have to activate it. So once you are in the mode where you are in drive mode, then it will automatically go to black. It'll even send automatic messages to the people responding to you to say, hey, I'm driving.
That's the key. So because you want to get back to people as a, just as a respectful thing, but you don't want to even take the millisecond to respond back that way.
And
you just want to have it taken care of.
And it staying black, I think, is really smart because it's when you see that pop up on the side while you're driving that you're tempted.
I'll check it at the stoplight.
Turn back on? Like, is it?
When you're done, there's just you get back in, you do your password, and then you would just undo the feature.
It's holding yourself accountable. You have to want to not be disturbed while you're driving. It's very easy to hop in the car and say, I'm going to not press that button today and get the alerts. But there's also another app, we talked about it a couple of weeks ago, where it does know if you're in the car, it'll automatically shut down. Or is that a feature in a car? Remember we talked about it because how do they know if the passenger gets in a car, the car is moving,
and that was
they shut down the phone?
We still had after that story.
Yeah, we'll keep. And we're getting from producer Billy that Samsung has the same feature as this.
Oh,
so,
well,
so
there we go. I got some
See?
on my Samsung.
You're not ostracized,
I know.
Samsungers.
Any more comments before we head out?
No, but thank you all for joining us. That was fun.
It was. I still have charcoal. I'm going to go see how you take this charcoal off. Did they give you any
Yeah, I don't have any advice for that.
Any advice? Okay.
Dish soap. Try the dish soap.
Yeah, that natural dish soap. Okay, everyone have a beautiful weekend. We will catch you on Monday, 5 to 7 a.m. on the Morning Blend. And Irene, Rob, thank you for joining us
thanks,
today.
guys. And happy graduation to all the kids graduating this week and next.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yes. Congrats.